What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about British things that us Americans really wish that we had. There comes a time when even us Americans have to admit that there are some things that we don't have that we really, really wish that we did have. So today I thought it'd be fun and possibly somewhat depressing, but interesting to take a look at this Reddit discussion where someone asked, what is something that the UK has that Americans see as a luxury? I'm just curious about any of the UK things that Americans don't have. Something they really want but can't get. Sincerely, a curious American. Well, I am extremely curious about this as well. What are things that are in the UK that we don't have here in America that we'd really want? Starting with maternity and paternity leave. Oh, yeah, I'm laughing. I'm laughing through the tears. This is a good one. We have it way, way worse than most other countries, including the UK. Don't get me wrong. Here in the United States, most mothers get like 3 months of maternity leave. That can vary a little bit, and sometimes you're not even really getting paid during that time, but you can get, 3 months off of work to take care of your child. Most Americans actually think that's completely normal. It took a very long time for me to actually learn that this is not how it is in most other countries, right? I've actually heard stuff as crazy as like a year of maternity leave. Like in Britain, what's the average maternity or paternity leave? Like, can it go up to a year? Because I can't even process that. That is just crazy to me. Because in America, like you're kind of lucky if you get 3 months, and you might have to use some of your own, I don't know, saved vacation time to kind of buffer that. It's very, very different because here in America, we don't have many laws that dictate what companies have to do in terms of benefits. So companies in America aren't always legally obligated to give you certain benefits like maternity and paternity leave. Paternity leave, like the father getting time off as well, that's almost non-existent. That's very rare as well. Yeah, oh my gosh, this is a great one. British things that us Americans wish that we had. More maternity and paternity leave. Yes. Man, can't emphasize this enough. This one's it's actually kind of crazy to me how Americans like actually survive off of our current system. Um, because 3 months is you still have a basically a baby at home that needs full-time attention, and but you're having to go back to work or you're not going to make any money. It's a horrible situation. I work for a US company in the United States, and I got 16 weeks paternity at full pay. That's very good. That's some of the best I've ever seen. 16 weeks and you full pay. That's fantastic. It's a real rarity, and insultingly for my wife, more than she got for giving birth. Oh my God! So this is the father. The father got more leave than the mother after giving birth. I doesn't surprise me, honestly. Nothing makes sense about maternity leave in America. Oh my gosh. Unfortunately, if it's not put into law, most companies will just offer the legal minimum 2 weeks. Okay, so there is a legal minimum in the United States. I didn't even know that. 2 week minimum. Yeah. Again, that doesn't surprise me. From what I know, from what I remember, this is very different to a lot of other countries like Britain. Let me see if I can look it up here. Okay, here we go. In the UK, eligible employees are entitled up to 52 weeks of maternity leave. 52 weeks? first 6 weeks are 90% pay, and then that might decrease over time. 52 weeks! That's a year! It's true! The legends are true! Oh my god. That is so crazy. Oh my gosh, let's keep going. That was a good one. Next we have full height toilet cubicle doors. This is a good one. I've heard of this one before, I think. This is another really American thing, from what I understand. In our public bathrooms, where, the stalls, the cubicles that the toilets are inside of, you open the door, you go inside to the toilets, you have a little cube that you're sitting inside of. In America, there's huge panel gaps, huge gaps in between, like where the door attaches to the rest of the frame, the door hinges, and like the door, when it shuts, there's a gap in between the door and the other side. There's a bunch of gaps, and on the top and bottom of the door, this is in public bathrooms, on the top and bottom of the toilet stall door, there's gaps that are like 2 feet long, 2 feet wide, like on top and bottom. So there's a lot of space. It's very strange. It's, again, one of those weird things that us Americans have gotten used to. I forget where I even learned about this for the first time, but apparently this is not normal as well. There's a lot of American things that, man, I just grew up living my whole life thinking it was normal, and apparently it's just not. So this kind of discussion is really funny for me to look at. I think, is it true in the UK? Like, do you actually feel like no one can see you when you're going to the bathroom in public? That'd be a nice feeling. Oh, and full width toilet cubicle doors. After some of the stuff I've read on here, doors to rooms. Yeah, the toilet doors. Yeah. What else? British things that us Americans wish that we had. A minimum of 28 days paid holiday per year. 28 days. Wow. Man, this is kind of touching on the employer-employee benefits that we have here in America. There's not a lot of laws around this, like I said, so it tends to be quite bad. So in Britain, you get a minimum of 28 days, like a month of paid holiday. Wow, most jobs in the United States, you're really, really hoping for 2 weeks, 2 weeks, maybe even 10 days total of paid vacation time. And you're also hoping for like 2 weeks or 1 week of sick leave. If you get sick and you can't show up to work, there's a limited number of days that you're allowed to do that. Is that strange? Is that how it works everywhere? Because here we don't get that many vacation days. I mean, I never knew that we had a small amount. Most Americans just think, yeah, 2 weeks of vacation. That's normal. Okay, great. Thank you. We even are thanking, like, thank you. Oh, 2 weeks. Thank you, sir. But 28 days? That's like a whole month of vacation. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine how nice that would be. What the heck? All right. Next, we have decent chocolate. These are great. Oh, God. And as I suspected, a little depressing for me. Britain even has better chocolate. Man, I did a reaction to this a while back. I learned that British chocolate is a whole entire different recipe than American chocolate. Apparently, our American chocolate tastes like vomit. Like Europeans find it sour and disgusting. That's so fascinating to me. I haven't had like British chocolate, so I don't know how good it is, but I'm used to our American chocolate, and after learning all this, it made me feel strange. Like the fact that I eat our chocolate and it tastes good. I don't know if I like that after learning about that. We have weird chemicals and weird stuff in our chocolate. Yeah. Oh boy, what are some more things Americans wish that we had that are British? Footpaths. Like walking paths? Like like more places in public to walk? I don't know, footpaths. I'm kind of at a loss here because maybe that makes sense because I don't really know what you mean by footpaths because they're not very common here in America. Does this mean like in public, lots of places to walk, like sidewalks, or are there any more comments on this? I didn't even think of this till now. I went to a very posh neighborhood in Stanford and decided to walk to the shops, given it was only 5 to 10 minutes away. I was shocked to see that I had to walk on the road to get there. Oh, so people in Britain kind of expect a lot of walkways and footpaths to be able to walk to places like around town, around the city. Yeah, America is definitely not built for walking. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, like as an American, if there's somewhere close by, it doesn't matter how close it is, I will drive. I will drive. There's no doubt about it. It's a force of habit. I just will always drive no matter how close it is, even if I'm going from drove to one grocery store and I could walk like next door to the other one. I've driven to the next parking lot over. I'm not ashamed to say it. I think that's very American. So be it. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with us. I don't know. Next we have proper strength electricity. Ooh, interesting, because in Britain you have like different plugs and different outlets. I think they're like more powerful. The plugs are like gigantic in Britain, I feel like. And very robust, and I think they actually carry more electricity. Does that actually translate into anything like tangible? Like, does your microwave cook things hotter because you have more power flowing into it? I don't know. I'd be interested to learn about that, actually. What else do we have here? British things, Americans we wish that we had. I think the most popular answer here is going to be the NHS and free healthcare. Ah, I'm surprised it took this long to get to this. This is absolutely true. This should probably be the number one answer. If we're talking about things that Americans that we wish that we had, that Brits do. I really feel for Americans who can't afford health insurance or get it as part of their jobs. Right. So, the NHS and healthcare in Britain, it's like a public healthcare system, universal healthcare, where healthcare is paid for by your taxes, I think, in Britain. And you can just go show up to the hospital or healthcare clinic and get care without being sent a bill in the mail later or having to show your health insurance card. Is that right? I can't even. This is like hurting my brain to even think about this kind of parallel universe. Here in America, yes, there's no free healthcare. You need healthcare insurance. We have a healthcare insurance system. Most Americans get healthcare insurance and therefore healthcare coverage through their job, through their benefits from their job. Thank goodness jobs offer that pretty reliably. Otherwise, you have to buy healthcare insurance through the government. And even so, when you show up to the hospital in America, they're going to ask for your insurance. They might not accept your particular brand of insurance. Your insurance might not cover everything. There might be a copay or deductibles and all this crap. And without a doubt, no matter how much your insurance helps you pay, you're going to probably get a bill in the mail later for, well, it depends. And if you don't have healthcare insurance in the United States, that's a surefire way to end up bankrupt and in debt for the rest of your life. Because healthcare costs are literally designed, like, assuming that you have healthcare insurance. Things are crazy. Like, you can go to the healthcare clinic and get a Band-Aid and be charged like $100 or something. I've heard of stuff like that. Yes, I didn't mean to go on too long of a rant there, but that is such a big one. Maybe the number one thing. I mean, it's weird though, because us Americans, we don't really talk about it very much. This is supposed to be British things that us Americans wish that we had. I think most Americans wish we had a universal free healthcare system where everyone was covered. But you better believe that most Americans don't talk about it. I think we have just accepted our system. We know it's not going anywhere. It's kind of sad, actually. This is not a topic of debate in America at this time. No one's like really talking about it. People complain, but it's not going to be changed. There's no big debate going on, which is kind of strange, actually. Oh boy, let's keep going. A couple more here. Being able to live car free. Oh, the car free stuff. Now, you're not gonna get me to give up my car. I'm not walking. if you want that in the States, you have to live in a city center of only a few cities with decent public transportation. Yeah, public transportation is very scarce, very bad in the United States. Most people have a car. Like, no matter what your financial situation, most people really, really prioritize getting a car in the United States because it is tough. It is tough to live without a car. Yeah, it'd be tough to get around any, like even small towns and cities. I think in bigger American cities, there's better public transport, subways and trains and some buses or taxis, and it's possible in bigger cities. Kettles. Yeah. I did a whole video learning about kettles, electric kettles. What a marvel of technology that is. I don't know. I don't know if this counts because this is supposed to be things that Americans wish that we had. Most Americans don't even know electric kettles exist. So if we don't know that they exist, how can we wish for them? We don't even know about them. I just learned about those recently. Things Americans wish we had. 4 weeks holiday, yeah. Plus eight bank holidays. Absolute minimum sick pay. Yeah, there's none of this minimum sick pay, minimum sick days. This 4 week holiday stuff. This is making me very jealous, honestly. We get there's a couple national holidays, and we get about, if you're lucky, 2 weeks paid vacation. A lot of the time, yeah. Public transport again, yes. History and old buildings, yes. Yes, that's one of the main reasons that Americans do sometimes travel outside of America to Europe, to Britain, is for this history and old historical buildings and this amazing architecture. None of that European architecture and buildings exist here. Castles. There's no castles in America. Yeah, that is such an awesome thing about Britain. That'd be cool if we had it, but like we don't have the history to, that's not how history happened, so it wouldn't even make sense. So it's cool, like we can travel somewhere else in the world to experience that stuff. It's okay. And with that, I think that's a good place to stop before I start crying again from all this cool stuff that exists in Britain but does not exist in the United States. These were really, really good comments, really good examples. Kind of stressing me out thinking about some of these things, especially the healthcare system and the benefits and the lack of infrastructure. This is giving me a bit of an existential American crisis, but that's okay. This was fun to look at a lot of the cool stuff in the UK, for real, that America could definitely learn from. Seriously, I don't know how much of this is changing anytime soon, but I still enjoyed learning about this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of these things we talked about here that Britain has that America does not. That'd be interesting to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain and British culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.